Today, Bitcoin not just kissed our $24,000 target, but even poked it by around $200, $400. So from here, what are we now expecting from Bitcoin and the rest of the digital cryptocurrency world?
This is Healthy Minds giving you bites and pieces of crypto news.
On today's blog, we'll be talking about a celebrity of Shark Tank who is recognizing now Bitcoin. I'll also share you the Bitcoin analysis, the altcoin of the week, where there's a big possibility of huge gain, and BLOCKFI and Celsius Network as platform that provides passive income from your digital assets and earn more. On our big news, Shark Tank's Mark Cuban just recognizing Bitcoin. To all the fans and followers of Shark Tank, this is such a big news for you guys that such a celebrity is also digging into Bitcoin world and the rest of digital currency.
Heard you, Vic. Good morning to you all. It is so good to see you. Season 12 of Shark Tank. Can you believe it? I want you all, first off, just in a word, what it's like to be back. Did I get everybody in there? Did I get everybody? Okay. Oh, yeah. Exciting. I was about to say, how could I forget Mark? But that's the thing. Mark won't let you forget Mark.
True. Continuing this big news, as you can see, Mark Cuban, the superstar, the owner of Dallas Mavericks, and one of the sharks on the Shark Tanks are recognizing Bitcoin as one of the globe's good assets, and he even compared Bitcoin as a gold. So I hope really that everyone will be able to utilize the market and even recognize some of the altcoins that will give profit on you. But of course, always do your research and validation. But obviously, institutions, celebrities, billionaires are flocking into digital world. And the good thing with this one, it's not limited only for these people. As long as you have your internet and your phone, dig in on this type of market analysis. For the last decades, Bitcoin has beaten all type of assets and market. And now let's go for the next news. Bitcoin breaks above $24,000. And another company just cut down its gold exposure by 50% in favor of the BTC. So we could actually see here that interests of institutions are really coming in. And as we says here, keep on stacking sats, which is the smallest part of Bitcoin, which is in Satoshi, if you break it down into millions and hundreds. So amidst this wild rally, Christopher Wood, a global head of equity strategies at Jefferies, a global investment banking firm, also jumped into Bitcoin by cutting down his gold exposure in his long-only global portfolio for US dollar denominated pensions funds established at the end of the quarter 2002. Also says here that the 50% weight in the physical gold bullion in portfolio will be reduced for the first time in the several years by 5 percentage points with the money investment in Bitcoin. So we could actually see here really that institutions are flocking into Bitcoin. So I hope that we will be able to see this opportunity while the trend is here. We could maximize and utilize also these other altcoins. Of course, I'm suggesting before you invest, you do your own research. And speaking of altcoins, we actually have the considered silver in comparison to Bitcoin, as its little brother Litecoin surged at 52% this week by riding Bitcoin boom. So while Bitcoin had a good news or good week, Litecoin actually has a better one. And the biggest gain for Litecoin, the fifth largest cryptocurrency by market cap, came on Thursday when the price jumped over 20%. Litecoin observes a surge renewed interest back in September thanks to Lightbringer, a blockchain-based fantasy RPG game that allows players to trade in-game loot for Litecoin. Daily transactions of Litecoin shoots up to around 165,000. So we could actually see here that this alternative altcoins also have huge gain. The wider crypto market continues to do well as Bitcoin increased at 26% this week, Ethereum at 17%, XRP at 14%, and Bitcoin Cash at 20% at the time this has been reported. To be honest, I actually entered Litecoin, and to show you the graph, I entered around the $91, and to show you in a lower time frame what really happens here. So you can see on this part, we actually tried to break this trend here, and when I saw that the breaks came through up to more than 3%, I'm about confident now that if it's do this test here, definitely it will go much higher. And exactly what I predict, it actually goes to the moon. This is actually what you call go to the moon, as we are up by huge percentage already. It came to maximum around 30, almost 34%, but now we're down at 25%, which is still good. But the reason why I came, or I do this buying on this asset, if you're going to notice in a weekly time frame, that Litecoin for quite some time now, since April 2018, we actually created this downtrend, and every time that Bitcoin tried to attempt to go on this trend, it always been rejected for a couple of times. And as you can see in this part, we've been also rejected twice before it finally broke through. So our initial target was 110, followed by 125 dollars, which is we almost kissed already at 124.24 dollars as its peak, and now we're trying to have a little bit correction, perhaps go on the previous resistance, and now acting as support, and finally broke to our target around $140. And from there we will see what will be the data be given to us, if we will still continue this trade or look for another alternative coins that we could navigate with. So that simple analysis actually is a very powerful one. We know we don't need to use too much indicators. By simply reading what's the behavior of the market and how does Bitcoin works, and how it affects also the other coins around it. And speaking of that, we're gonna talk about the inverse correlation of Bitcoin, which is dollars. And for several weeks now and days, dollars will continue to plummet. It even went down to around 89.73 points in index. But now we're getting a small bounce already, 0.34% bounce. So right now we're playing at 90.016 points on index for the dollars. But if this will not hold, obviously we are looking forward for the dollar index to go down up to 88.5. So let's watch out for this, because if dollar will continue to goes down, we know that assets like Bitcoin and gold will take advantage of this move. Now let's back to our main menu, which is Bitcoin. Let's just have a short and quick analysis on what's going on the market for the past hours. Right now, it seems that finally Bitcoin already reached our first proposed wave 5 for this move. So it exactly hit our 24,000 mark, and from here, if this, given the data that we have, especially if you're going to check the MACD and the RSI, the relative strength, it seems that we are getting a divergence here. As we move higher, the strength and the MACD are actually showing us weakness. So let's see if this will play out, and we might have a either sideways action before we move again, because as we said, this 24,000 range is not that strong resistance psychology, but there's also a sentiment that if you're gonna follow the technical, after a huge move, we are actually expecting for it to have a correction. So let's see if we will get this 20,000 mark correction, because I know that lots of people and institutions are looking on this range. Orders are filed on this range for sure before it even goes down on a lower range, as what the CME futures gap is showing. But that's only one part of the thing. If you are in a bull market, definitely the character of the Bitcoin is that different. You can't even see now bigger retracement as we expect 35%, 40%. As this sentiment continues to go up and FOMO in the market, we might see smaller correction. But of course, it depends on the data that we're getting. Things might play differently. So we need to always have a plan and react on what will be the given data from us. From there, we could actually move. So this potential ABC retracement is on the table. But as I said, this could also mean that we're just gonna get a sideways action from this 22,000 range. So, and then continue to move up. So what will be our expected target if that's the case? Well, going to this retracement here from the previous high, counting from our fib, if this will work as our reference point of reference, we might actually get around 27,000 range, 27,500 range. But my target, to be honest, is I would like Bitcoin to reach this 31,000 plus range to 32,000 plus. So I think that's a psychological big add numbers that people and institution might do selling for bigger correction. So let's watch out for it. Right now, I could see a sideways action and possible retracement before we move up. But as I said, the 24,000 is not that strong resistance psychologically. So we might easily reach, also have an extended fifth wave around 25,000 mark. So the volume is still huge comparably, but it's starting to move down also, signifying that breakout is imminent from this asset. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for supporting the channel. I'm encouraging everyone to do your comments and feel free to drop down your questions. I'm actually highlighting one of our subscriber who asked at, I think it's Mr. Noni, shout out to him for asking which is the best way to store your asset, your digital asset. So I actually highlighted there that first you need to set your goals. What is exactly your goal? Are you for short term? Are you for a long term? Do you have your own mid-term goal as well? So from there you'll be able to set where would you like to save your asset. So as for short term, for my exchange allotted funds, I always put it and stay it on the exchange. Again, this is for short term because you want to buy and sell this asset in very quick way. You don't want to transfer it and pay the transaction fee and then do the trading. You always want this funds to be ready for buy and sell. So that will be for my short term. And then for my mid term, I use such as BLOCKFI and Celsius Network. You could check the details on our video. These two platforms actually works like a banking or traditional banking, where they provide interest and dividends on the asset that you put there as an investment. So they even give you weekly and monthly interest. And the good thing with this platform is they don't have any commitments. It means that you could actually pull out your assets anytime that you want. So with that, you're not tied up with this platform. So it's such a good platform where you could actually have a passive income besides from the actual gain and profit on the value of your asset. It also have interest. And finally, for your long term, of course, for the big part of your portfolio, you wish to have your own wallet like Ledger, or if you wish, you could even use hot wallets such as Atomic wallets. And there are alternatives. You could also use MetaMask and other wallets as long as you have the keys. Because as they said, if you don't have the keys, you don't own your asset. But as for me, I do have my own goals. I do have my sets of diversifying my digital asset. And I hope it helps and encourage you guys to really look on this asset and let's navigate and utilize and maximize on how we could actually help each other. So thank you again for supporting the channel. And this is Henry.
A disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research.